So we have discussed about three types of model that in the previous class. One is waterfall, one is iterative, and the other is agile. Yeah. So, can someone summarize the three models which we have discussed? Anyone of you? What's the difference? What are these models? So you guys are like after the class, you are revisiting the videos or not? After the class? Hello.
Yes.
See, I could give this PPT to you, no problem. But if I give this PPT, I know no one will revisit the video and make notes. I want everyone, all three of you, to make notes by themselves once the class is over. At the end of the class, I'll give you the PPT, no problem. But I want you guys to make note because in the process of making note, eh, you can remember it for longer period of time rather than if I just provide the PPT. Okay, so for theory, obviously PPT, I'll be providing all the theory state at the end of the class. For practical anyways, will be doing by yourself. But after every class, you need to have note created by yourself. Okay, so you guys are creating notes. Anyone, have you created any notes?
No, not yet for this.
Gautami?
No, sir. Not doing notes.
And Fazal?
I do just for the main headings, not everything, but main topics I do write.
Because now see, class is over. I'm asking you. You are not able to answer. Why? Why? Because you have not done the complete notes. If you have put an effort and would have made complete notes, now you could have answered it. Because always remember when you put effort means you will remember it for a long time. If anything is given for 3 minutes, will not remember it. If I give PPT means you'll not try by yourself. Means you'll not go through it. I know. That's why I'm not giving it. So I need you guys to prepare the notes by yourself. At the end of the class, obviously I'll give the PPT, the whole PPT, or the theory space. Okay. So from today's class, at least do this practice. Okay.
Okay.
So what will happen now? You will, for your benefit only. So you will only remember it for longer period of time. If you prepare note by yourself, if you write it by pen and paper by yourself, obviously that will keep in your mind for longer period of time. Okay. So anyone want to try or shall we go to the next topic? Anyone want to summarize what are the three different models we have discussed? Agile, waterfall, and iterative. Just give a try if you remember anything. I asked you this because I just want you to understand the importance of making note after the class. So if you have made a notes in the previous class, obviously you could have answered this question now. Okay, so always make notes. Now see this example I have given. This is not in the PPT. Only if you make notes, you will having this example also in your notes. So let's say after 6 months, if you open the notes, you could get everything. But even though I give you PPT, the example is not there in the PPT. Okay, so please, it's a request to make note to all of you to make notes. It's important, good for you. Because if you would have made note today, you could have answered it. Okay. Okay, so next is your prototyping mode. So what is a prototyping model? See, other than waterfall and agile, rest on model very rarely someone will be using. Okay, and very rare company and very rare project they must use. But major is the agile which everyone using nowadays and the waterfall which is used earlier. But from interview point of view, all these are important. Okay. So next model is prototype model. So what is a prototyping model? Now let's say I am a client. Okay, I am going to launch a new product. I'm going to launch a new product. So I don't know in future what demands come to me. Let's say today Flipkart or Amazon is such a big what you say application. But go back to those days when it just started. It would have not that much feature which is included now, right? It would have not that much feature which is included now. Back those days, maybe it would have just ordering, let's say, cloth or something. Later on, based on the customer demand, they went on. So you must have seen also, like some applications started with food delivery, then they did grocery delivery, then they did ticket booking. So it went on adding. Why? Because they see the evolving demand of the customer. Based on that, they just keep on adding requirement on the top of that. Now, so let's say I'm in the initial phase. I am myself as a client not clear about the requirements. I just know that my customer, my application is intent to, let's say, order for something. So initially, see in Amazon, the categories of product is very huge. Maybe 50, 60 categories of product. It is you can order from that. Or maybe clothing, maybe TV, maybe mobile. So a lot of things there. Home theater, this, that, lightning, smart devices. So a lot of categories are there. But the initially when we have opened, that you didn't know. And even just think of that. When Amazon would have opened, there was no smart devices. Nowadays, this Google Play or Alexa, these are coming. In that time, that was not there only. So they cannot even think of introducing that in their application at that time. Yes or no? So in that scenario, what we will be following prototyping model. So the client himself is not clear about the requirement. So what he will do? He will just tell what he knows. So based on that, they will create a prototype. Then after that, once the requirement comes in, they create the whole application. It's just like prototype is just like what? Uh, you must be knowing, like you must have seen in movies and all also. Like before creating let's say there is a launch of new car. Okay, before creating the whole car, the miniature model of that car is created, which resembles the actual car. Okay, or let's say there we need to build a ship. Okay, so every ship is one of its kind. There is no replica of the ship, like mostly cruise ship I'm telling. Okay, this commercial ship or this car also you can see same brand, same. There are thousands of cars. That is okay. So, but just think about the customized jet planes which the customer buy, or the customized routes which the customer buy. So that is one of its kind. There is no other replica that the company can show the customer. So what they do a prototype. They will build a small model of the entire thing with all the things that the customer has told in a miniature format. Okay, now they will present it that yes, this is how it will look like. So the customer knows, yeah, this is okay. So similar that here the client doesn't have the idea of the whole requirement. He just know that yes, I will build application which can do. He just knows just a basic requirement. So here the prototyping model is followed. Here you just create a prototype, and when the client get clear some of the requirement, he can then build the final product. Understood? No.
Like how
Again,
the
no. Why you are bringing pages here? Forget about pages. Here requirement I'm saying. That means
like any
maybe
feature.
any feature. Maybe it can have 5 pages, it can have 1 page. Here,
Yeah,
prototyping
I'm
model
just
means
giving the example. Yeah.
no page. Why? Here, no point of thinking about pages here. Forget about pages. Here, the client himself is not clear about the requirement. So you are not building the actual product. You are not building the actual product here. You're just building a prototype based on some of the assumption of the client. This is not the actual requirement. When the
Is
actual requirement comes, then we'll do it. Yeah, yeah.
Is it a blueprint, sir?
Not blueprint, you will be creating a application, a working application, but not the exact application which is the final product. I told you, when there is a code sheet or a customized jet ordered by a customer, it is one of its kind, right? So, okay,
Okay.
understood now, right? So these are these you will not be using also in real life. For interview point of view, you need to know all this. Okay, nowadays everyone is using Agile. Never find nowadays you'll not find a single customer who is not using Agile. Okay, understood everyone, right? Prototyping. Next, I'll go to spiral model.
Yeah, understand.
Okay.
So, what is a spiral model? What you understand by a spiral? It will never end, right? A circle is a spiral model, also you can say. That means it will never end, spiral model. That means a application in which the customer knows that till the application is there, some or other requirement will come. Some or other requirement will come to my application. Let's say Facebook. You are using Facebook, right? Just tell me, the Facebook you are using today, is it exactly the same you are using 10 years back? No, a lot of things have changed. The look and feel has changed. Some emojis which you are giving came on. Then some like feature came. This short status feature came. All this came on integrating. Why? Why? Because this is never changing never changing demand. Till the time Facebook is there, some or other thing will go on added on top of that. Why? Because that is based on user experience. Okay, that is because of user experience. Now, let's say your father or what father or mother were using Facebook. Why they will use Facebook? They max to max they will use it for chatting with their family members or friends, whatever. Now you came, we came, let's say. So we thought like we should add photos, everyone should do some emoji liking and all. So that feature was added. Now our next generation will come. So they came. So what they expected? They expected that even if I click a ugly photo, it should be appearing very beautiful. So nowadays you must be seeing in Facebook that AI feature, AI photo has came up. So based on the evolving demand of the customer, the requirement will come up. It will never end actually. Now next some feature the user will demand it should get integrated. That they will also integrate. Understanding or not? Hello.
Understanding, sir.
Yeah, yeah, Pratik.
So what is happening here? Here the demand is never ending. The demand will come till the product exists. Okay, the demand will pile up. Tomorrow something will come. They will tell. Let's say tomorrow some feature, new feature will come. They will tell add this feature also. So here the spiral model is never end actually. Tomorrow again one demand come. Development testing everything will done. Again tomorrow one demand come. Development testing will done. This will go on. It will never end. It's a continuous process basically. So that's why it's a spiral model. Understood everyone?
Right.
So in spiral model, like the development process is divided in so many parts. Like in the iterative part, it was divided into two phases. Like
No.
for the
Why development? Nothing to do with development. Development will go on. See, now tomorrow, just say this AI feature get added in Facebook. Now this developer will also develop that feature. The tester will also test it. So it's depend. Everything. Development is divided into two phases. What? Every time a requirement comes, that many times you have to do development. In indefinite number of times. You cannot divide it into 2 times or 3 times. It is indefinite period of time because the moment a new requirement comes, development will go on, right? Then why it will be divided into phases?
okay.
Understood?
Yeah, so in this model, the whenever the new requirement came, they like develop that one too, right?
Development, testing, everything will go on. So that is a spiral. That's why it's a spiral model. It will never end. A new requirement come, development testing will go on. Again, a new requirement come, development testing. It will never end basically.
So in the other model, if the requirement came, so in
See,
that one,
in other model, if the requirement came, see, everything you use. Now this Zoom application in which you are conducting the class. This is the final version only.
mhm,
Maybe in 10 years, one feature may be added. So that will not be a development. That will be a enhancement, you can say. Just a, just you bring a bike. Let's say I give an example. You bring a bike, okay? So in the bike, everything is okay. So just you wanted that I want to add a color light in that. That is just the enhancement you did. But that is not a feature of that. Now this Zoom application in which you are conducting, maybe a enhancement which is added. What is enhancement? Maybe without that also your application will work. But if you consider Facebook, that is a feature itself. AI integration. Understood?
okay,
So in spiral model, every time a features come, new feature comes in. In other model, let's say your project finished, an enhancement may come in feature.
mhm.
Understood?
Yeah, so like in other models, if the like the very little bit changes, those are like possible. Like if the client require like have the another new requirement,
No.
that is
No.
not possible in the other models, right?
See, again, important. It's not little bit requirement. I gave you an example, right? In the bike, there is a white light already given by the company. Now you want to do a colorful lighting. That is not a feature. That is an enhancement we are doing. That means without that also your bike will function.
Yeah,
Okay. But let's say in the bike, you don't have brake only. You have to add a brake. That is a feature of that bike. Without that, the bike will not function. That is a feature.
mhm.
So understood now. In
Yeah,
others, enhancement may come after the application is finished, but in spiral model, every time features comes in.
okay,
Understood?
yeah,
Everyone clear, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, next is the V model. So V model is used means where a detailed testing is required. That means I can say that there is no scope of error at all. Let's say V model can be used in real-time scenario if I say in defense sector. In defense sector, there is no scope of error. That means if you there is a minor change also, the entire system will crash. Means basically in the space area or the missile defense areas on the system. You cannot, even your rocket is going, and if it deflect by, let's say, half degree also, then it's a disaster. So V model is used, and then is very detailed, what you say, testing. Okay, so I'll tell you what is the difference between other model and V model. See, other model, what testing we are doing? We are doing the testing of the final product. That means in other model, if I have a bike, I will just ride it and test it that it is riding, what is the mileage, what is braking and all, I will be testing. But in V model, after the coating is completed, first you do the whole testing, whole integrated testing. That means riding the bike and everything. Then again you break it down to what? Again you break it down to small component. Again you do this small component testing also. Because there you have to, there is no scope of what you say, error. So in other models, we were just testing the final product. But here, each component you have to test along with that final product also you have to test. Understood? That means when you are testing the Amazon, you are just testing the whole flow. I am placing an order, all this thing. But in B model, what it should be, that each button color you have to test, but basic component also you have to test. Just I would given an example of Amazon, but in real time you can say it is used for the software which is developed for defense and all, defense space program and all, where there is no scope of a minor mistake also. You cannot give, even you cannot make a mistake which will make 0.00001 change in the value also. Because everything there is very precise calculation. Okay. So there, along with the entire system, each component is also tested thoroughly. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is B model. Dhaliwal, you also understood, right?
Yeah, so as this in the picture shows, like first requirement analysis, like the SRS document kind of thing.
That is
First,
that is the normal thing. That is the normal thing every project we are following. Right? Till coding, everything is normal thing. But here, even the every testing is done. Even the component testing is done. Here, the system testing means each component of this entire application is also tested. You cannot just go past any component also. Okay.
Yeah.
Next type of model is rapid application development model. So when we can use this, when I can use this is that my requirement is very clear. There is not a 1% doubt in the requirement. Plus two conditions. The requirement is pretty clear to everyone, and there is very less time. Once I have to complete in a very less time frame. So that is, in that particular scenario, I have to use rapid application development. So my time is less, and I am pretty clear about all the features and the requirement. Understood these two preconditions? What are the preconditions? I have a very tight schedule and my requirement are pretty clear. So I will follow rapid application development. So here, what will happen? You will not have a single testing team and single development team. You have multiple testing and development team. See, let's say I am following R&D model. So I have three testing team, three development team. Okay, 3 testing and 3 development team. And let's say 3 feature are there. 1 development team and testing team will be developing and testing module feature 1. 1 will be also module only, module of the application. In the better application, 3 module is there. So there in other all other model, there are just 1 testing team, 1 development team. But here we have multiple testing team and multiple development team. So they will be subdivided into modules. Each one will pick up 1 module, each one will develop 1 module, test 1 module. Each one will be pick up 1 module, test 1 module. So there will be multiple teams here because the time frame is very small. How to deal with that? We need to do parallel developments. Understood? Here the team size will be large. Instead of 10 people, here maybe 30 or 50 people. But the development is carried on parallelly so that everything gets completed within a very small time frame. Getting or not? Taliban?
Yeah, so in this model, like the developer are developing a software in parts side by side, like first phase, second phase, third phase, all are developing side by side, and the testing is also happening.
But here you don't have a single team. Here you have multiple teams.
Yeah.
The only difference between this and other model is that there we had single team of developer, single team of tester. But here we have multiple team of tester and developer because they have to work simultaneously to complete it in a small time frame, right? Correct. Understood? Fazil and Gautami?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So, yeah. Okay. So this completes your what are the different types of model available for application development and testing. Now, testing can be subdivided into 3 types. One is black box testing, one is white box testing, and one is gray box testing. Okay. So what is black box testing? Black box testing is the actual testing which the tester will be doing. Why? In black box testing, the tester doesn't have the knowledge of the code at all. Now, when I'm testing application, Amazon, I don't have the knowledge of what the code which is written in behind in which it is developed. I'm just testing the application. So that's why it's a black box testing. You don't have the knowledge of the coding, the code or the source code in which it has been developed. You just test the final product, which have no relation with the coding. Means which has relation with the coding, but you don't have any relation with it. You don't go through the coding or you don't understand the coding. Understood? So this one is an important question. What is black box testing, white box testing, gray testing, and this boundary value analysis, everything is important. So understood what is black box testing?
So the manual testing comes under black box.
Yes. Manual testing is black box testing.
And the automation is white box.
No, automation is black box also. How it is white box?
Yeah. So
are you?
yeah, like,
yeah,
I got it. Like we are testing through the coding, but we are not testing the actual code in the automation.
Yes, you are writing code to test the application, but are you actually testing the code which is written to develop that? No, no. Then automation is also black box testing. Understood?
Yeah.
So inside this black box testing, we have different techniques we can say to test. There are different techniques to test. So one such technique is boundary value analysis. So what is a boundary value analysis? Okay, let's say you are applying a form. Okay, you are applying a form. So the age limit, let's say you are applying for the job. The age limit of that job is that people who within the age of 20 to 50 and 40 and 50 are also included. Both 40-year guy and 50-year guy can also apply for the job. Okay, is allowed to apply for the job. Okay, it's allowed to apply for the job. So what is boundary value analysis? I will check the boundary values. I will concentrate on the boundary value. So what are the boundary value here? Tell me. 40 and 50 are the boundary values, right?
Yeah.
Because I can allow people or guy from age 20 to age 50. So what are my boundary value? My boundary value are 20 and 50. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, in boundary value analysis, how I will do the testing? For that particular text box, which will allow from 40 to 50, I will have 3 values to test. Okay, so first value is the minimum value which is allowed -1. So 20 is allowed, 20 minus 1 is 19. So when I enter 19, it should throw an error. So invalid value means it should throw an error. This test I can do in boundary value analysis. Next is valued value. So in valid value, what would be including the minimum value, that is 20, 40 is included. Minimum plus 1, that is 21 is included. Then nominal value, anything within the mid range, as you can pick. So within 20 to 50, I can say 30, I can pick anything within the mid range. I pick, then I can maximum -1, that is 50 minus 1, 49. Then the maximum value 50. So for all this, it should give me that it is a accepted value. Okay, for all this, it should give me that it is accepted value. Now, next is again an invalid value, that is the maximum plus 1. That is 50 is allowed, 50 plus 1 is an invalid value. So if I test with this value, that is a boundary value analysis. That means I am concentrating the values which are which are in the boundary and near to the boundary. So if you see, I'm just testing with the values with the boundaries which are accepted in the boundaries along with that ±1 value. That means I am just concentrating on the boundary itself. I'm not going deep inside it. Only a single value I've taken from inside value, but I've not taken any other value from the inside value. I've just taken everything that is surrounding the boundary. No inside value is taken here. Understood or not? Everyone, just an this is an example, you understood or not? Tell me. Dhaliwal, go to me, Fazil.
Understood, sir.
Yes, got it.
So that's why the name is boundary value analysis, because here I'm not concentrating on the inner values. I'm just concentrating on the boundary values. Okay. So boundary value is used to check the behavior of application using case data that exists at the boundary value. Okay. So here basically you test the boundary condition of the application. Now, this is boundary value. Then comes the equivalence partitioning. Okay. So equivalence partition. So what is equivalence partitioning? In this equivalence partitioning, I will divide, or I will, you can say, make a table in which the test data which I will be entering, it will be dividing into ranges. Here I have the exact test data. See. Here I have the exact test data: 19, 20, 21, 30, 49, 50, 51. That means here I have the exact test data in which I will test. But in boundary value analysis, it gives me a range. that you pick any value from this range and test. There is no exact value. Okay, in boundary value analysis, I have the exact value. Minimum minus 1, minimum plus 1, maximum minus 1, maximum plus 1. We have the exact value. But equivalence partitioning is, I give a range of values. From there you pick any value. There is no exact value. Okay, let's say there is an application which allows the user to enter the password of 8 to 12 length. That means the length of the password can be from 8 to 12. Okay, not less than 8 or not greater than 12. That is one scenario. That is one text area I'm testing. I'm testing the length which is allowed in the text area. That means it can allow a length from 8 to 12, not less than 8 or not greater than 12. Okay, so here what will happen? I'll create a table. Here I will have 3 range. Okay, here I will have 3 range that it will tell me that 2 invalid range that is greater than 12 and 1 is less than 8 and 1 valid is 8 to 12. So here I'm not giving any exact number. Here I'm telling you take any value less than 8. You can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to take it. And here valid scenario 8 to 12, you take any value, say 9, 10, 11, whatever value you want to take it. And invalid scenario again greater than 12. So you can take any value 30, 40, 50 till 1 lakh infinity, you can take any value. It's up to you. I'm not giving you an example. I'm giving you, but I'm giving you a range of value. I'm giving you a range. Within this range, you take anything you want. I have no issues with that. Understood? So my requirement is that my length of password should be within 8 to 12. So I have 3 ranges. So first I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 4. So it should give me an invalid value. So I can take any value. So I took 4. I can take 5 also, no issues. Then between 8 to 12, I took 9. I could have taken length 10 also. I could have taken length 11 also. I could have taken length 12 also. No problem. So that is also okay. So that is a valid scenario. Then I take a length greater than 12. I can take length 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, whatever. So it should be an invalid scenario. Okay. So this is equivalence partitioning. So everyone understood the difference between boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning. Which this is the important detail question.
Yeah, so where we use these 2 topics?
While creating the test case. While creating the test case, you'll be using this concept. Right? There is a text area. You are creating a test case. You'll be creating test case which satisfy boundary value analysis. You create a test case which satisfy equivalence partitioning. Then only you'll have a complete test coverage, right? Or else you'll be missing out some test case. Understood?
So according to the requirement, I will pick one, like I use the boundary one or the.
See. As you are first timer, or let's say who is new to this field. Okay, I new to this field. There should be some tools, right? Some these are some tools basically, which helps you to determine how to write tests. Not that there will be a document that this is equivalent partitioning test, this is boundary value test. No, these are some tools or concept which are provided to you so that it will be helpful for you while creating the test case. While creating the test case, you not write that yes, this is boundary value analysis test case or this is equivalence partitioning test case. These are some of the concepts given to you, which will help you at the end for writing the test case.
Okay. So we are also going to write test cases in this course.
Yeah, test cases you also are going to write. That is practical. That is the actual practical for manual testing, right? Writing test case and using raising Jira. That is the actual practical scenario for manual testing. And also for some SQL commands also we will be learning. So that also we will be learning. Okay, how to now see you are doing manual test case. That doesn't mean that you just sync the application. You have to also see the data also. You have to check the data also, right? So how you check the data using SQL commands? So you will be using we'll be learning SQL also. That is also practical. SQL and SQL are practical. Rest of these are the concept because you are new to this field. How you will write test case if you don't know this concept? That yes, I should write a test case which should satisfy boundary analysis. I should write a test case which should satisfy equivalence partition. Understood?
Oh, yeah.
But in the actual test case, we are not writing that this is this or that. This is just for help. This is for a help for. Okay, this is not that we will be putting in the real test case. This is for helping hand. Understood, everyone? Dhaliwal, Gautami, Fazil.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Now, next. State transitioning testing. Okay. So what is state transitioning testing? Now, here, state transitioning means when you perform different application in the same function. That means, wait, I'll give an example. See, I give different input value to the same function, then my behavior of the application will be different. With the state, different state. If I give A input, the state of the application may be B. If I give B input, C input, the state of the application may be D. But based on the input given, the state of the application changes. Okay. Now, just an example of ATM. Okay. You withdraw money, it display your account. Now again you withdraw money, display account. But the detailed display in the first and second account after your balance left, that is not same. Okay. So based on different input. So the first input you do withdraw something. Second input you withdraw something. So based on the state of the application, the output is changing. So when you drew the first money from the ATM, the state changed for that application. That means, let's say there are 1,000 rupees, they changed to 500. The state change again. If you do some input, again the state will change. Means the state is not remaining same. The amount is changing, right? That means the state of your amount is changing in the application. Okay. So state transition means for different input, the state of the application changes. Okay, let's see. Here you see login. See, in login, even if I give this, let's say there is a validation. If I give 5 wrong input, wrong credentials, it will lock me. Now see, even here, if I'm giving the same input, the state is changing. What is changing? Let's say I give wrong input 1234 email ID, password 1234 first time. So what is the output I'll get? The output is that your credential is incorrect. If I give the same input 5 times, the same output I'll get. But the 6th time I give the input, it is showing me your account is locked. That means even for the same set of input, the application is behaving differently based on the state of the application. Understood? Even for the same input, it is also giving me different outputs. So why? Because that is because of the pre-existing state of the application. Now, till the time I give 4 unsuccessful or invalid inputs, it is only showing me user name invalid or password invalid. But the 5th time I give, it says user is logged. That means for the same input also, the state of application is changing. We are getting different output. So that is called state transitioning testing. So when you are testing, when you are writing test case, just understand, when you are writing test case for this login scenario, you will think that I give incorrect credentials, all the combination of incorrect credentials, and that my test case is written. No, that is not done. The same, all the negative test case is not covered because state transitioning you have not covered here. You have to also write a test case in which you will be giving the wrong credential 5 times in a row. Then it should show the user is logged. That is also a test case that comes under state transition testing. Understood or not?
Yeah, got it.
So what are all this? These all are the helping hands for you to write a test case. Now some requirement come, you will be thinking on this concept and understanding. Yes, I have to write a test case which will cover this scenario. A bundle which will cover state transitioning, which will cover the equivalence partition. Okay, sure. This is some of the concept which helps you to write test cases. So understood everyone this one, this concept, state transitioning?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Decision table technique. So here what you do, you get an application, you have to write test case. So you make a decision table. Okay, you make a decision table that means just a table format. Whatever scenario you can think, give it in a table format and write test case accordingly. So what is a decision table? So just let me explain with an example. So just this login feature. For this login feature, I create a decision table. So what is a decision table? That means there is two input field here, username password or say email password, and you have to click submit button. So here I create a decision table. That means the set of data. Now, if you are giving two set of data, how many set of data can be given? If there is two set of data, that means 2 factorial into 2 factorial, that is 4. If there are 2 fields, you can create 4 set of data. Yes or no? If there are 2 fields, you can create 4 set of data. So one is you are giving correct username, correct password. You will go to account, you are giving correct username, wrong password, then incorrect password is so. If you are giving incorrect username, correct password, it should say incorrect email. And if you are giving both wrong, then it should show incorrect email. So you have to create a decision table because you see why I am creating a decision table. Why? Because for 3 set of invalid input, the message is not same, or the message is not same every time. The message is changing. So you have to create a decision table. According to that, you can write a test case. This is just a technique to help you. So you create a decision based on a table. You create a table which will cover all the positive and negative scenarios. So this one is positive scenario. Means the scenario in which you are expected to make the application run. All other scenario are negative scenario. That means we checks that the way the application shouldn't work is actually working. So that is negative scenario. Understood everyone?
So this is just writing the test case in a table.
No. This is just creating a table to help you. You will write the test case based on this table. For this, let's say, inputting username password, write for test cases. Just I created a picture in format. I understood it for the table, and then I'll write the test case. That's it.
So just for my understanding, I'm making this table, right?
Yeah. Yes. So this is a table for your decision. You're doing you're just taking a decision. So for that, you are creating a table. You're making a decision to write test case. Sure. Based on that decision, how many scenario will happen, to create a table and write test case for that. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the next concept is error guessing technique. So what is error guessing technique? This technique is that based on your past experience, you'll be writing the test case. You'll be guessing that this error may occur. And for that, you'll be writing the test case. Based on your past experience. So how this will come? This will never come to a new tester. This is purely based on experience. Error guessing technique. A new tester cannot use this technique to write tests. It can be written only by those persons who are experienced. That means who have already used the application and tested the application. If he have used and tested the application, then only he can guess, right? If he cannot guess it. That means you go through a road daily, then you can, if someone asks you in that road, where is the carpenter's shop? So you can guess it easily. Yes, if I go 10 miles there, I can see the carpenter. But who have never gone through that road, how you will guess it? Similarly, whoever have used that application and tested it already, they can guess that in this scenario, yeah, maybe a error will occur. So based on that, you will write that, you will write the test case. But who is new completely, he cannot guess it. So this technique is purely for the experienced person. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Faisal and Potane?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And graph-based technique, again, it is similar only like the decision table. In decision table, you are creating a table. In graph table, the same thing you can create with a diagram. That's it. Okay, when you create it with a diagram, there's a graph table. Just the name is different, concept is same only. Only the way you do it is different. Here you are creating a table, here you are creating a graph. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Pratik.
So the next is white box testing. So what is white box testing? White box testing is completely done by the developer. Now they have just what to say, they have created an application. They will not straight away give to the tester to test, right? Or else what will happen? A lot of bugs will come and then it is again a headache for them. So they themselves will do unit testing, which is called as white box testing. Okay, but they don't test as tester. They don't test the final application functionality. They do white box testing. Means they do the coding testing. So as they know they are doing the coding level testing, so they have the knowledge also of the coding. Then they also do a coding level testing. So that is called white box testing. These are done by the developers before giving the build or the application to the tester to test. They do white box testing, which is also called as unit testing. Okay,
Yes.
so this is not related to functional tester, but yes, we should know the definitions. And inside that, three type of testing is there: basic path testing, loop testing, and conditional testing. If you know what you say programming, then you can understand that basic path testing is like we made say written a function which will cover a flow. So that when we do the function, that code which is in the function, when we test it, then that is called basic path testing. So if you know programming and repeat idea also, you can understand that we write functions and all to cover a flow. So when we test that particular function which covers a flow, that is basic path testing. Then loop testing, see in programming also we have some loop statement. When you test the loop code of that looping statement, that is loop testing. And conditional testing, there are some conditions also in programming language like if else, do while. So when you test those conditions code, then that is called conditional testing. So these are the three types of white box testing. Clear, everyone?
It means white box testing is done by developers itself.
Correct. Because you don't have the knowledge of code, right? What is condition statement, what is if statement, what is the concept and all this, right?
Okay.